Good evening, grade 8 families. My name is Anne-Marie McDonald and I'm the principal here at LCVI, and I'd like to welcome you to our Choices at 9 live event this evening. This is our first full-fledged parent event, virtual, in the virtual format, and hopefully you find that this fulfills all of your needs and answers all of your questions this evening. And at least you didn't have to come out on a dreary and rainy November night. I understand that we have about approximately 100 attendees this evening, and I realize that you might be here for different reasons. Some of you might simply be looking to find out what the difference might be between regular academic programming and enriched programming at the grade 9 level. Some of you might be considering both our academic arts and our pre-AP program. Some of you might be considering our programs and the IB program at KCVI, or you might be here just to learn more about what high school looks like. We will strive to answer all of your questions this evening, provide you with vital information, but we also do welcome the chance for you to reach out to our Student Services Department after the meeting for any follow-up if you'd like to do that by phone or a virtual meeting if you have more specific questions. I'd like to first tell you a little bit about LCVI and our vision as a school before this evening. If you aren't aware, we are a grade 9 to 12 school with approximately 650 students. We do share a building with Calvin Park Public School. They offer regular and specialized programming for grade 7s and 8s, so approximately 375 students at Calvin Park sharing space with us. Because of the array of programming that we offer, students come to us from all across the district and even outside of our district. And I would say that that is one of the very unique features about our school and one of our biggest assets as well. Our focus as a school is on fostering the traits of grit, growth, and gratitude. And this is a vision that we've developed over the last few years. Our goal is that by the time students that we have instilled in them a desire to persevere against challenges, to always want to get better and seek to get better, and to not only be thankful but appreciate that we're a part of a larger community. So it's our goal to see all of our graduates achieve those attributes during their 4 or 5 years with us. We are truly the most diverse school in the Limestone District School Board, and perhaps even in Eastern Ontario. And we are diverse in all ways, in race, in culture, in religion, in socioeconomics, but also in the diversity of the program experiences that our students can access with us. So this is truly the easiest school, I would say, in which to develop our global citizens for the future. LC also offers programming for students who are seeking enrichment or advanced placement courses, students who are learning to read, write, and speak English for the first time, students who might have developmental disabilities and need to access special education programming, and everything in between. We also have the most number of focus programs and specialist high skills major programs, which our Choices at 9 students could access in their senior years of high school at LCVI. A wide array of focus programs and specialist high skills major, in fact, 5 focus programs and 7 SHSMs. I'd also like to note a few other aspects of our Choices at 9 program. The Limestone District School Board allocates 64 enrichment spaces to both LCVI and KCVI. So 32 spaces for our academic arts enrichment program and another 32 for our pre-AP program. These programs do run all of the same curriculum that you'll find in the Ontario curriculum documents, but they are either at an accelerated pace, provide a more rigorous experience for students, or provide them an avenue to foster creativity, innovation, and intellectual curiosity. Students who enter our Choices at 9 programs can continue on at LCVI in things such as our advanced placement courses, or in regular programming, or in one of the focus programs that I referenced. We realize that some of our students might apply to both Choices at 9 schools, and we work hard with our sister school KCVI to look at all applicants and determine what the best fit might be should there be a student who does apply to various programs between our 2 schools. We've also tried this year to provide a reasonable application process considering the limitations of COVID, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. To close, I guess I would say I have a son in grade 8 who is getting ready to go to high school next year. And when I put my principal hat on and my parent hat on, I think about a few things that you should be looking for in your child's high school. And that is a place where they can have a wide array of opportunities to find their possible career path. An environment where they can be exposed to a diverse array of people from all walks of life so that we can cultivate those global citizens that I referenced, and a place where they can find their people, an environment where they can be whoever they are and still be accepted. And I would certainly give you the assurance that LC provides all of those things. In closing, I'd like to once again thank you for coming this evening, but I'd also like to show my gratitude to our staff, not only our student services staff who have helped to facilitate tonight's event, but also teachers such as Mr. Alain McCann and Mr. Ted Goldring, who have my highest possible level of faith and respect as exceptional teachers. And I would say without hesitation that your children would be in good hands with them in our Choices at 9 programs. So I hope, again, you find this evening informative and useful, and please be sure to ask any questions that you might have along the way. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karina Dupuy. I'm the head of guidance here at LCVI. So I'm just going to take you through some of the basics. But before we get going, I've noticed most of you have already taken advantage of it. There is a question feature on here. So you'll see a little question mark at the top of your screen, or it might have just opened up for you. Feel free to publish questions. My coworker here, Tanya Moore, she'll be doing one of 3 things with the questions. She might answer it directly if it's specifically related to you. She might dismiss the question if it's something she knows I'm going to answer in a minute, or she might publish it to me. And then after I'm done with my little PowerPoint, I will address all the questions at once, just to see if there are some duplicates or not. But anyways, to begin, this is super weird. I would much rather be in an auditorium filled with you and your children. That's where I feel my most comfortable, but here I am in my office without a mask on, which is brand new to me. But it's so great to have over 100 of you in here, and I really appreciate you coming to us on a Thursday evening to listen to us talk about our awesome programs. So I'm the head of guidance, which essentially means I'm a guidance counselor. You don't have those in elementary. My main purpose and goal is to get your students or you from where you come in grade 9 and what your ideas are and what your plans are for your future, and then to make that happen for you. So to provide as many opportunities so that you know your options, so you know how to get to where you want to go after high school. That's my main role. We do have quite a few people working behind the scenes here tonight, but I'll just let them do that nice and quietly. And then after this, I'll ask you that you leave this event and join the other ones that you're interested in. So be patient with us as we're navigating this new system, but it does seem to be working quite well. As I mentioned, Tanya will deal with all your questions as they come. If for some reason you do lose this meeting, you can always get the links again on the website that we're using, which is lcvistudentservices.com, and you can just join us again. This meeting is recorded as well, so I will make the recordings available if you wanted to catch both of the next 2 meetings and you weren't able to do that because obviously you can't watch 2 things at once. So I will be sending those out. So following me, you can go see Mr. McCann, who will be speaking about the Academic Arts Enrichment Program, or you can go see Ms. Leek, who will be speaking about our Advanced Placement Prep Program. And then after that, at 8 o'clock, we've got Ms. Riley, who's going to be discussing our advanced placement options here at the school, which are available to our 11s and 12s. As I mentioned, it will be recorded, so feel free to ask any questions. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, but for the most part, I am going to just move ahead and then answer the questions at the end. So tonight, I'm just going to take you through a little bit who we are and what we do, because the system and the setup is really different when you get to high school. You've got a very different scene. You don't stay with the same teacher all day. You move throughout a different group. This year is obviously different than all other years since our students are working in octomesters. So they're a bit more like elementary right now, where they stay with the same teacher all day. But typically that's not the case. I'm going to give you some really brief information on AAEP and AP Prep, but the teachers following me are the experts, so they're the ones to really ask those questions to. I'm going to answer a couple of frequently asked questions. Just the one, I have about 4 that I tend to hear a lot, and then I'll open it up to you for Q&A. The breakout sessions will start at 7:30, so I'll try to get you out of here as soon as possible, but I will stay online. So if you do have more general questions for me, that's more than fine. You can stay and ask me. And just a note that our grade 8 parents night for our regular programming, so our locally developed, applied, academic pathways, it's going to be in the same kind of format, and it's going to be on December 10th at 7 p.m. You can register the exact same way you registered for this. I haven't been sending out confirmation emails simply because I didn't want to bog you down with an abundance of links, so I will be sending those out after tonight. Here's our team. It's Student Success. We're really lucky because we have a team that works exceptionally well together, and we all have our different skills and our different strengths, and we work really well with the kids here at the school. There's myself. I'm the head of guidance. I primarily work with grades 11s and 12s, but it's not a restrictive thing. And my main role, again, is post-secondary planning. You've got Miss Moore. She's our lead student success teacher, but this year she's also acting as a guidance counselor, mostly for our grade 9s and 10s. Because our lovely Misery Gray, she is teaching remotely this semester, but she typically is our guidance counselor as well, and our AAEP and AP support. Then you've got Mr. Meyer, so another person you wouldn't have in elementary. He is our learning program support teacher, so he helps develop all the individual education plans. He helps with assistive technology, accommodations, all that kind of stuff. And then we've got Janice Cole, who's our adolescent care worker, and she helps with social, emotional support, and she's just there in the day to take care of kids who might just need a few minutes. She is there for everyone. As Ms. McDonald mentioned before, one of the best things, if not the best thing about being a Lancer is that we are a truly composite school. So we have an incredibly diverse experience in the school building here, which is really nice in a small town like Kingston. We have our regular programming, including school to community. We also have, as you know, our enrichment programs. We also have an amazing tech wing. There is so much that goes on down there. We have our hair salon and aesthetics. We've got welding. We have construction, communication technology, computer engineering, a wide variety of things. We have an auto shop as well. And our music department is fantastic. We typically have a jazz band, choir, and guitar. This all looks very different this year due to COVID, where we've had to not run our choir and our jazz band, which has been heartbreaking, but we are still maintaining a guitar program. We also have a fantastic culinary arts program here, so our kitchen is always doing something. You can take just one-off cooking classes, of course. You can also take a cook's internship focus program. I see someone has asked about focus programs. I'll talk about that in just a minute. And you can also be part of our lunch hour CAF class, where our students prepare the amazing food that the rest of the student body consumes. We also, as Ms. McDonald mentioned, have a very large international student population and English language learners. So we have some international students who come to us and they pay essentially a tuition to be here. So they might come from Turkey, Spain, Japan, and China, and they come down for a semester, a year, 2 years, sometimes to graduate. And then we have our landed immigrants, we have our refugees, we have our permanent residents. We just have an extremely great English as a second language group. And then again, as Ms. McDonald mentioned, we do have our specialist high skills major in arts and culture, manufacturing, hospitality and tourism, construction, and health and wellness. And I'm more than happy to answer questions about that another time. And we've got a great co-op program as well, where our students can work and earn credits towards their graduation. So in the sense of time, I'm just going to really briefly touch on a few key things that came up when I was speaking to the AP Prep teachers and the academic arts teachers. One thing they want to make sure is clear that both these programs are academically rigorous. So as McDonald mentioned, they go through the Ontario curriculum like everyone else does, but they do that more quickly so that there's room for enrichment and there's room for going on field studies. So it works at a quicker pace. They find that the students do best if they have critical and or creative thinking abilities and problem solving skills. They're able to see outside of the box or look at things from another angle. Also, that collaboration is really important, that the students work well with their schoolmates, with their teachers, and that they have an intellectual or creative curiosity, essentially meaning that they want to learn. So it's somebody who might want to find out more about something, might want to step out of their comfort zone when it comes to their creative abilities and whatnot. Specifically for our AP Prep program, it prepares students for the AP program. So I highly recommend you stay at 8 o'clock and see Miss Riley talk about our advanced placement courses. In the short form, it's taking like a first year university level course while you're still in high school and potentially earning a university level credit if you apply to a Canadian university. When our students come to us for AP Prep, they take a certain amount of courses together. So they'll take their English and math and science in grade 9 and 10. They'll take their French in grade 9 and their history in grade 10 all together as a group. Their other classes that fill up their 8 during the day will be their electives. So they can then take their physical courses, their arts, their techs, anything like that to kind of meet their interests. For our academic arts enrichment program, same thing. It's still an enrichment program. It is still a rigorous amount of work. It still expects students to work outside of the school time for sure, but it tends to employ a creative thinking and encourages a creative approach to learning. So they look at things through a bit of a creative lens. They express their understanding in creative ways. So it tends to appeal to students who have that creative ability. In AAEP, they take a few courses together. So they take their English in 9 and 10, their geography, they take a ComTech in grade 9, and then they take a history in grade 10. After that, again, it's their elective, so they can choose to take the music program or arts or tech or anything that interests them. This is the main stuff I want to get to. It's the important dates. I will talk about the application, and I'm happy to walk you through it separately if that's something you're interested in. They are due January 14th by 3 p.m., and this is a pretty hard date. We are really working tightly with KSS to make our dates streamlined so that we have the same process. Both great programs. We just want to make sure that everyone gets their opportunity to apply for both. So 3 p.m. they are due. If applications come in after that, we do put them on the wait list. By that time, everything's due. So the online form, and that includes all the supplementary aspects. There is a short video, which I'll talk about, and there's a copy of your progress report and whatnot. Students have to, in their application, include a teacher reference name, and then that reference is due by the 20th. So most students won't leave the application until the deadline anyway, so at minimum, teachers will have 6 days to complete a fairly simple reference form by 3 p.m. I have to say this, this reference form will be confidential. It will only be shared between the teacher and the selection committee. It will not be something that's shared with students and parents, simply because it allows for a more genuine conversation. Offers will then be sent out to students and their families January 22nd at 3 p.m., which will be the same as KSS. And from that point, students have a week to decide which program, if any, they wish to accept. They have to let us know by January 29th, and that includes coming in and paying a one-time $125 activity fee, which typically covers transportation and such for their field studies. On the website, lcvistudentservices.com, there's a section, it's also right on the homepage, but there's a section there marked AP Prep, AAEP, and AP, and the application is right here. So it links directly to it, and it's just a Google form. In that Google form, as someone has asked, yes, it is the same application for both. There's one small difference, but you just complete one form. And you can apply to both. Absolutely, some students do apply to both programs. It's an online form. There's a paragraph response. It's under 200 words. It's just talking about basically why the student feels like they'd be a good fit, why they might think that they're a creative and critical thinker and whatnot. We really ask that students do this independently without help from their families. They then submit a progress report, their most recent, because we do look really strongly at learning skills. Those are very important in the selection process. A photo of this is fine, it doesn't matter. At this point, we want to see a sample of their academic or their creative work. And that is really broad. It can be something that the student is just pretty proud of. And we want it to be something that they feel demonstrates their creative abilities, their creative thinking, their creative curiosity, or their academic progress or their academic critical thinking. Then, so that we get a sense of the student, we are asking that they include a 2-minute max video where they are referring back to the piece they're showing us and explaining why they've chosen that and how it shows them as a good fit for these programs. And then lastly, they have to enter a teacher referral. The applications will be scored as in thirds. So 1/3 will be based on the application and the paragraph and whatnot in the video. 1/3 will be their progress report and their learning skills. And then 1/3 will be that teacher referral that again is confidential. I'm going to switch now to some questions. So it's the questions I hear the most. So if they get answered, if your question doesn't get answered, though, please feel free to post it. I do see some questions coming up that I'll address in just a minute. Are there buses for students who are outside of the LCVI catchment area? Unfortunately, that is a very tricky question right now. I don't have a clear answer. Students still have to apply for buses through Tri-Board. There is a special programs application. Typically, we don't have many issues with this. It runs fine. This year has been more tricky than others due to COVID and cohorts and reducing the number on buses. It has been trickier to get busing. I don't know what it's going to look like next year. If I knew, I would tell you, but I'm not 100% sure. The difference between AP and IB, I hear a lot. I'm not the expert on IB. I don't know the program well. I know it's a great school. I know they have a great staff, but we here can really only speak to AP and pre-AP in the academic arts. But I recommend you do your research, ask a lot of questions. They have a great team over there. I'm happy to give you their contact information if you want it. I hope you joined them last night for their presentation. If not, they might have a recording I could get to you as well, so just let me know. What students get accepted? I asked teachers this, and they said they're really looking for some specific things. They're looking for critical thinkers. They're looking for that intellectual creative curiosity, that person who wants to try new things and really wants to learn, and they're looking for a good work ethic. Lastly is, can students with IEPs join these programs? And that is absolutely, there's many students with IEPs in these programs. They will be accommodated just as they would be in any other class. But of course, do keep in mind, the program does run at a more quick pace, and there is an expectation of work being done outside of school. So just bearing that in mind, they are absolutely welcome to join. So I did kind of whip through that because time was flying by. After I answer a few questions, I hope you leave this event and then click on the other links that you're interested in, and I will stay on here and answer more questions if you want. But right now, I'm just going to switch to some questions that I see. Okay, so what is a focus program? It's an excellent question. A focus program is, students can go to any school that offers a focus program. They can apply and they can go, and there's focus program buses typically. And a focus program is a group of courses that focus on a certain interest. So here, for example, we have our cook's internship. So the students will work in the cafeteria all day. They will really improve on their skills in the kitchen. Through that, they'll probably work on getting a specialist high skills major in hospitality. It gives them a chance to really focus on an interest. We also have our hair program here, which is a 2-year focus program. When students leave here, they're completely qualified to be a hairdresser for that. We have our creative arts focus program, which is very popular for people who are into the fine arts. Focus programs are typically for students in grade 11 and 12, and they get a certain batch of credits. So it's just a matter of checking to see that the student will get the credits that they need for where they want to go afterwards, but there are tons of opportunities in the board. There's one for being a paramedic. There are some for building and construction. We also have Studio LC here. So there are plenty of different options. And if you Google limestone focus programs, you can get a list of what those are. Another question I see is, do you apply for AP as well as AP Prep at grade 8? No, you just apply for the AP Prep program, and you don't have to have done AP Prep to take our AP courses in grade 11 and 12, but it does set you up well for those programs. So you only apply for the AP Prep. And then once we get to you to grade 11, you can start considering doing the English and French, and then possibly in grade 12, some of the sciences and math. There's that question, what are the differences between AP and IB programs? So again, I'll refer you back to Bonnie Morris-Pocock and Helen at KSS, and they'll be happy to answer your questions. How many people apply on average to the AP program? Ooh, I'm going to be running a guess here. I believe it was like around 80 to 100, but I'm not 100% sure of that. So I could get back to you on that. I actually can't remember, if I'm being honest. Is financial aid available? If you're referring to the activity fee and whatnot, which is the only financial component I can think of, it probably would be. So definitely send me an email and we can discuss that. Can you have more than one sample of academic creative work? I believe you might have meant more than one sample. We are just going to take one sample. I think our academic arts teachers will tell you we're not looking for the most artistically talented students. We're looking for students who are really interested in trying more, and they're interested in participating, and they're interested in learning and developing skills. So just one piece is all we can really accept at this point, just with how many applications we're going to have and how little time we're going to have to do our acceptances. Are there clubs? If so, are they run by students or by staff? Yes and no, and both. So yes, we have lots of clubs here. Please feel free to leave if you wanted to go get one of the other events on time. I won't take offense. I'll just keep answering questions as you go. We do have clubs. Obviously, this year's been really hard for that. So we've lost our athletics and we've lost a lot of clubs. We're really fortunate here that we have an excellent leadership program. So in grade 11 and 12, students can be involved in running spirit activities and whatnot throughout the year. So they've been great at kind of keeping things going. And we have our GSA and we have lots of clubs typically, but this year's been a little thin and they are run mostly by staff, I would say, but there are definitely student-run clubs as well. Okay, so that's a good question. So IB has a theory of knowledge to foster creative critical thinking outside the box. How does AP approach this? I'm going to leave this for the teachers. I would hope that you please post this exact question either with the AP prep teacher, Ms. Leek, or then again with Ms. Riley, because they're the experts on that. I've never actually taught the program, so I wouldn't want to speak outside that. Despite COVID protocols in place, will there be an opportunity to visit the school prior to January 14th to help children decide if the program is for them? It's a really good question. I don't know the answer to it. I would ask that maybe you send me an email and we could discuss further. I would love to say yes, but it is really tough right now. So I would say send me an email and we can talk a little bit further about that. I'm sure we're going to try to do some sort of video so at least the students can see what the school looks like for sure, but otherwise just email me. Does LCVI offer an AP computer science course? No, we do not at this time. We do not have a teacher to teach that program right now. We have in the past, but as of next year, no, it would not be an AP course that's running here. How many kids are accepted? I believe it's 34 for each would be how many are accepted. And same for the next question, how many spots are available? Typically 34. And please know if your student or child is waitlisted, we definitely go to the wait list. So don't be disheartened if you get a waitlist notification because everything settles between IB and our programs too. So then we definitely reach out to our waitlist. Does the sample of academic creative work have to be from this year? We are asking that, yes, it is from this year. If for some reason that's not doable, again, send me an email, but we are definitely looking for current work. What is the workload in AP? Another question that I think should be directed towards the AP teachers, but I know it is hard. I know it is rigorous, and I know there is a lot of work for sure. It's an enrichment program, so they go through our core curriculum at a quicker pace, and then they work outside of that. So I would definitely say it is heavier on the workload, but please ask that question to Ms. Leek and Ms. Riley. So Ms. Leek at 7:30 and Ms. Riley at 8. So I'm not seeing any more questions right now, but I will stay on for another few minutes. Thank you to listen to me rambling. It's very awkward not being able to talk back and forth with you. I hope I answered some questions. When in doubt, lcvistudentservices.com. It has all our contact information on there. Feel free to call the school and ask for me, Karina Dupuy, but I'll tell you, reaching me by email is definitely best because I'm rarely ever alone in my office like I am right now. And my email is my name, which is Dupuy Karina, DUPUISCORINNA @limestone.on.ca. But all of you have received emails from me now because you have the links to this event. So just feel free to reply to that as well. So again, I will just stay on with my camera on for another 2-3 minutes, but hopefully the rest of you can leave this event. So actually click the leave button at the top right of your screen and go join the other events. Take care. Have a great night. So I see another question, is 34 per class or per program? It's both. So each program is 34 kids and those students are in those classes together. So AAEP has 34 and they travel through those courses together, and same with AP Prep. Do students who are already in the challenge program get first opportunity of acceptance? No. That is not how we do. We aren't a continuation of the challenge program. They definitely are well set up for the AP Prep program for sure, and they have great success at getting accepted, but it's definitely not a priority thing. Okay, so don't forget to leave this event and then go click on the link for the next one that you're hoping to attend. I might try to pop into those too to see if anyone needs anything, or send me an email. Okay, with that, it seems that the questions are over. I just see one more. Is it the same for IB? Again, I don't know about the IB. I believe, I'm not sure if this is the same person who is asking about class sizes. I would assume they're the same since those are all ministry, but I would ask them for sure. Okay, with that, I'm gonna hang up. Please keep in touch and take care.